Thumbnail. Basically, I'm making this video as like I was gonna say a mental note, but technically it's like a visual video note to myself because I can be a bit autistic, right? And by that I mean in my energy and my direction. My energy and yeah, whatever. I mean, like, sometimes I can have a really, really strong feeling and knowing of a right direction in my life, but it's almost like the distractions and everything that I get sucked up in steers me off course to what's important. And yeah, sometimes I just need like a mental reminder of the clarity that I know is inside, and I get so fogged up with things that don't matter. But yeah, I've been getting like, side note tangent. I genuinely feel like I've been addicted to my phone, and I'm gonna admit that, like, addicts, they will never admit something that they're actively doing, but they'll point it out in everybody else. And I'm such a, oh yeah, they're addicted to their phone, they're addicted to this, oh, you're addicted to that. But like, those are the people who are the most addicted. I think I'm addicted. I know I'm addicted to this thing. Like, it's bad. It's like a portal to funnel all your energy. It's really dangerous. But what I'm saying that to say is because I think it's an important point. Because I had a realization today, a really, really strong current of realization, that art and creativity at its center is, number one, authentic, and number two, expression. It's authentic expression. And what I mean by that is, I feel like the greatest artists and the greatest creatives are the people who are most in tune to that current. And what that current is, what that energy is simply just being in tune with yourself, like the deepest part of your being, and letting it go through. And I think that's what's achieved. But the video cut off. I have to cut this together now. I didn't want to edit, but yeah, I think that's what a lot of these artists are achieving when they go into these flow states, where they're literally just like, I don't know, encircling from above and just channeling through to them. And that's what it is. It's just a pureness of expression. And I said that to say that a lot of these people who create from this flow state, it acts as a magnet, and it's attracted by so many people. Like, I've realized lately that time is not associated with quality, and sometimes something that you do in one brush stroke of emotion and intuitiveness is quality and is deserved and should be like pushed further. You don't need to validate it with time, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry if my words are kind of crazy. I'm still getting used to like talking into a camera and just in general articulating myself. I never do it. I'm usually like a journaler, but yeah, I want to get into this practice more. What I'm trying to say is, art at its core is authentic expression. And what I realized today, the greatest artists authentically express, but unapologetically, sorry. And you see that throughout all of the great artists. Like, you can't even name someone or think of someone who isn't great that isn't the embodiment of authentic expression unapologetically. Like, all of my favorite people that I look up to are that. The Basquiats, the Michael Jordans, the Michael Jackson, the Mike Tyson. I'm just going through the mics, but like, every artist, everything in every category that's the most beloved just doesn't care. Like, they just unapologetically create and push it out there, and let it be seen by people, because that's what it is. They don't care about anything else. And I realize I'm an intuitive artist, and I create a lot of my works intuitively, and I've been straying away from that recently, and I've been thinking too much. This is one of my pieces. It's called The Peace Amidst War. And what I see in it is like this unconditional love, this unconditional being in the chaos of war. And I create mainly intuitively, so I let my intuition guide me in the process of like feeling, and whatever needs to come out. And I feel like I've been leaning away from that because I've been trying to justify or define certain things or make up a mental narrative for other people to understand, when in reality it can just be what it is. In this painting here, it's a million different things. I just framed it as the piece amidst the war, and your mind like sunk into a certain narrative and a certain energetic avenue. But in reality, if I just gave this to anyone, like I'll give this to 100 people that have 100 different answers, and that's what art should be. I don't really think art should require or needs an explanation, needs a description either. Like it can just be anything. And yeah, I'm saying this because I need to be more certain in myself. I need to be more certain in my approach. I need to be more clear and ascertained in like who I am as a person. I really want to, you know, stand on business in a way of like self-assuredness. I want to be more self-assured as a person, as a creative, and what that means, I think, is getting to know myself more. But it's not even just that, it's getting to know yourself more, but then crystallizing who that is as a reminder and as a home to go back to, if that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like sometimes I can waver too much in my approach, when if I'm self-assured, then who cares? Like if if I've crystallized a certain way of being, like no one can break that down. That's just who I am. And that's what self-assuredness is. Sorry if I'm waffling a bit too much, but this is just a stream of consciousness. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's just that I really just want to be more authentically expressive of the core of my being, intuitively and unapologetically. And if anyone's watching this and you're a creative, I really think you should just like take this as a strong sign to not give a fuck. Just keep on creating. If people talk, if any judgments arise, usually it's even in your own head whilst you're creating. That they're just limiting you and they're just directing you down a different path. Like the truest, the most authentic expression is without all the judgments, without anything else but your own energy. And if you feel like anything else but your own energy is interfering in your work, then I think it's a sign that, it's a bad thing. And I think the greatest artists are also the greatest shadow workers, because when you're creating art, it's just a reflection of yourself on a piece, and that's why it's so powerful. I'm going to keep on going on here. But yeah, that's what I have to say. I don't know if that's cohesive at all. I'll be better with the next video, I guess. Alright, bye.